You're listening to the Heroes Powerhour presented by BlizzPro.com. Your hosts, Balrog fan Zexorus and DJ Tyrant. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Heroes Power Hour, episode 62. This is a Heroes of the Storm podcast brought to you by BlizzPro.com. I'm so excited to be here this week. There's lots of Heroes news, lots of crazy stuff going on. Even with that other big game that Blizzard launched recently, there's still Heroes news to talk about. With me is, as always, Balrog fan BP, Zexorus, and PFlameG. We have a great cast tonight. Lots of cool stuff to be talking about. And, yeah, if you noticed, there might be a little something different about my hair. Anyways, let's get started. Charlie, how was your week in Heroes of the Storm?
It was pretty uneventful. We did the cheer league match. We played a little bit before the cheer league, and I don't think I've touched it since cheer league night. Just a busy week and doing other stuff. I love Heroes of the Storm, but I always have downtime periods where I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's listened to us before, it kind of ebbs and flows with a lot of us. I mean, obviously with Overwatch being out, some of us are playing a bit more of that. I know you picked up a Pokemon game or something.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing a Nuzlocke run on Twitch right now. I just started that today, so
nice.
I really wanted to have fun with that. I just needed to do something different, I guess. I'm when it comes to Heroes, I'm probably most guilty of being the filthiest of casuals.
That's allowed. Anyways, Zex, how was your week in Heroes?
About the same as Charlie's. I've been having some changes here recently, and like I guess we played cheer league this week. But like after that, it's been like I haven't had time between like college and other things, and we just I play too much Gundam Breaker, in short.
So a little bit of a downtime for most of us, it seems like. Carl, how about you? I know you just finished school, so you have a little bit of free time. Have you been playing Heroes?
Well, not really, because I just moved and started my internship at Raytheon. So...
Whoa, you didn't tell me it was at Raytheon. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's really good. Cool.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun. But obviously, when I'm working 8 or 9 hours a day, I don't get to play as much Heroes.
Yeah.
I did make it back to rank 1 and then fall to rank 3 promptly. So.
Yeah, that tends to happen. Well, for me, my week was actually relatively busy for Heroes. I mean, at least at the beginning of it, because I did Brawl with the Blues on Wednesday at the beginning of the week. That was really cool. That was probably one of my favorite things I've done in Heroes. Outside of casting stuff,
and accidentally saying "stay tight"
and accidentally stay tight. Oh my gosh! But yeah, I did that, and I played about as good as I've ever played. I feel like on stream, I got to show off my Vikings, and did really well, and got props from pretty much everyone in the chat for that, because it was Towers of Doom, so it was like a no-brainer choice, and I first picked them, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I know, Zex, you got to play in the Aram, unfortunately. Weren't you Abathur?
Yes.
It was bad. That was just bad luck, man. Like, I don't even know how to feel.
Oh god, I was so excited to get into that game. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna clown Jimmy this game. That's all I'm going for, is just going for him the whole game. God, give me Chen.
Yeah,
please.
You and Alebeard were in that game, and it was a whole lot of fun. And if you didn't get a chance to see that, I know it was in the middle of the day. It's not necessarily the best time for a lot of people. You can check it out. There's a VOD for it on the Blizz Heroes Twitch channel. And also, Wednesday is always my night for casting Heroes Hype. That happened as well. And we also announced the Heroes United event tournament thing, which is basically a conglomeration between the four amateur tournaments, including Heroes Hype, and your team collects points throughout all the 4 events throughout the week. And at the end of 6 to 8 weeks, I think each season is going to be, there's going to be one big Heroes United tournament, and each organization is promising $100 for that tournament. So this is a way for amateur teams to really build up their skills and be able to be rewarded at the end of these seasons by winning a little bit of money. It's not much, but I mean, it is something, and it'll be good for the amateur scene altogether. And also, we're teamed up with Matcherino, and if you're not familiar with that, that's basically crowdfunding for esports events. And one of the things you can get for donating is a Vine from me telling you thank you and stay tight. So if you wish to donate to that, check out Heroes United. Just Google Heroes United, Heroes of the Storm, and you'll find out all the information about that. And so, yeah, my week was pretty busy. Now it's mostly Overwatch, but since I did get Overwatch, I finally have Tracer, and we'll get to play Tracer a little bit. Anyways, I've been talking too much. Charlie,
No, you
take it
haven't.
away.
I'm glad someone played Heroes and did Heroes-related things this week. Because
Yeah.
we would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, I just want to say that Kyle Ferguson said your Vikings were super solid. Like, he was one of the
cool.
guys that you played Brawl of the Blues with over at A-Move TV. He was very complimentary about your Vikings play.
That always feels nice. See, I'm at least
Feels
somewhat
good, man.
competent in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a great segue then. What the Brawl with the Blues was about Chromie always introducing the new hero that week, and we did you make a noise, Sex? Oh my god. Anyways, Charlie, talk to us about the problems with Chromie and what exactly is going on with this hero right now.
First off, I just
Why are
wanna
you
say
talking to
solid
Charlie
seg-
about this?
Solid segue. Well, I heard win rate is just drastically low. I didn't check it as of today, but
32%, I
time-
believe.
32? Didn't it
Checking
bottom
it right
out
now.
at 29 or something at one point?
32.5% right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
She just, I'm guessing, because I played against like probably 2 Chromies that I felt like they knew exactly what they were doing. It's a very you got to be very good at playing mind games and very solid at hitting skill shots.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're not going to get anything out of her.
So I think the thing is, just to butt in a little bit, is she's similar to Uther in the sense that she's really good in coordinated groups, but these like Hero League teams, it's really hard to benefit from her toolkit. And I know Zex will be like, oh, she's garbage, but I think she's good. And I think in the future we'll see. What is that?
I will back up my arguments.
I know
why
you
think she's
will.
bad.
Did you want? Go for it. The floor is yours for this.
All right. So the win rate doesn't surprise me. All of her skill shots are incredibly slow. Like that second charge up, is just terrible for her Q. And in order to effectively use her E in team fights, you have to be right in front of somebody. It's a very small radius around her, so any possible setup you have to plan ahead for in time, way ahead of time. So that almost just renders her E completely useless.
See, I don't think the E is used that way, though. I think E is, you cast E where you're standing, like Alt-E, and cast it where you're standing, and then when you start to feel pressure, someone's coming towards you, they're going to probably hit that spot, and that's going to buy you that escape time you often need as her.
But the people who are going to go on her are just going to run you down regardless.
Not if they're in stasis for a second and you're playing super far back.
I guess, but
I don't think the E is meant to be used offensively. I think it's meant to be used defensively, but that's... Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Her W, it does a great amount of damage, I will admit, but it's the radius is small. It's easy to dodge. You see it coming a decent distance away, and for how far you have to play back with her, if something goes wrong, she's gonna be all alone, and that's not good for her. And then you're using defensive ease and hoping the rest of the enemy team, doesn't mount up and just run you down. Like, she could benefit from just a complete kit revamp. Like, her kit, I just like, what was it? Bye. Is it? Was it 7?
13.
13? Yeah, that's almost a must pick for her. Just because if someone gets on you, like an Illidan, a Chen, even a Tyrael, who can just run you down for days. Like, if anybody gets on you, you've got a back. You have no health pool. You know, Kael'thas's Pyroblast will almost one-shot her. It comes very close. Like, you have like a couple hundred hit points left. So there's really... She doesn't have enough in her kit, I think, to help her.
There was one post about Chromie's win rate about a couple different things that is an issue, and one is clearly the delay on her skill shot, but she's designed to play like that. I think you get rid of that, you get rid of Chromie's uniqueness. It has to stay, and she has to be tuned around it. The other thing is she has lower health than every other mage, and less escapes. Yeah. And I understand the delays and the range make a good kit, but I think a couple hundred health points buff to just put her in line with Kael'thas, you know, it might not be a 20% win rate buff, but I think it would help in a way that's not as drastic as, like, just remove the delay in her Q and take away the essence of how she's supposed to play.
Yeah, I think...
with her lack of... Go ahead, Charlie, I'm sorry.
I think one of the things they could do is increase the range on her temporal... Her ultimate, because the way that's used is to set up an easy skill shot with your W and your Q. You know where they're going to be, you can place it where they're going to be ending up. But the problem is you have to get pretty close to do it. And as you said, low health, low escapes, it's hard to get a lot out of that ultimate, which can really just melt people. I mean, it almost outright kills Falstad in the later levels and stuff. And that's a highly mobile hero with a lot of escapes who's going to be stuck going to a place you know exactly where he'll be. So I think maybe a slight range increase in that. I agree with Carl. The health is a bit low.
I had an idea when she first came out, because the temporal whatever, like, I really don't like that one. I think it could do. I think it should be able to do more for what it does, for what it's supposed to do. And my idea was it should remove any status changes to a hero while keeping that cooldown. So Murden pops out. Let's say no range changes. Murden pops Avatar. Okay. A second later, you rewind him. He comes out of the rewind, out of Avatar.
Oh, and like it cleanses all buffs.
Yeah.
And prevents them, like kind of like how like a reverse of Relentless is, or a reverse of Unstoppable is, I guess.
Yeah.
Unbuffable. That's what we'll call
it. It just removes the whatever buffs they got before they got hit with the rewind. Now, if it's past 3 seconds, then he stays in Avatar because it's gone past that time. So
I think an outright cleanse on an ultimate... I mean, I love the idea. I don't think Blizzard would do it. I think it's a bit much. I think they shouldn't be able to become unstoppable, though. I think that's a bit of a problem. Because if you're using that to set up stuns and stuff, it's not fair that you use an ult on someone who can pop something that makes them unstoppable, or a really good, well-timed...
Right. But think about everything that could purge off. You're talking like Locust Swarm, Avatar. You could... If a Li Ming took 20 ult, where she can just... All her skill is Disintegrate. You could
that
purge
doesn't have a
that
cooldown, so
well, you can still purge it out.
Recast it, but yeah, there's a couple uses.
Yeah, like that. It has to be like if you hit someone with that, you've got to be able to purge that off, because like not being able to purge that off, it would be just completely way too strong. Like,
way back when Vikings were first released, they had a fairly low win rate to start, and then people were like, I can't play this hero. And then all of a sudden they skyrocketed and pretty much stayed there. I'm hoping we see that with Chromie. She gets a few small buffs, she is right where she's supposed to be, and she's a very specialized player that only a few heroes really, or only a few like a small percentage of the fan base really enjoys using. And when they use her, they make her look good because they know her in and out. I think that's going to end up where she falls. I don't think she'll ever have as high of a win rate as Lost Vikings because they're so good on the maps they're picked on that they can snowball a game in the hands when they're in the hands of a right player. But one little thing too I wanted to mention, a post on Reddit pointed out that when you're using bye-bye, it's actually quicker if you need to back for health and you're almost dead to back for health, run immediately out of the Halls of Storm and back again to get that burst heal from the Halls of Storms. You'll actually refill your life quicker that way rather than just standing in the Hall of Storms after the first back.
I think that's so funny.
That's a pretty interesting little
fun, cool
tip for Chrome.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Brought to you by Reddit.
One of the quick thing on Chromie, I think she's probably one of the heroes that requires the most coordination because her skills are best if you've got CC set up. Right,
Yeah.
because they've got a delay. They're hard to hit. So kind of like Tyrande, if you've got a Muradin ETC who can just like stun people and keep them there for a while, Chromie can hurt. And then defensively, she also requires coordination because your healer has to watch you. Right, you're going to be far back. If a Zeratul gets onto you, you can't do anything. You need your Uther or even your tank to deal with that for you. So it's just like, she can be impactful in solo queue, right? 30% win rate, so clearly she's not the best, but a good player can still play her well. But I think
I'm definitely not saying not saying that.
Yeah.
Skilled players will just shred you with Chromie, but like the everyday man,
it's hard to do much with her. But I think
it's painful to watch.
with a good team around her, she can be decent. I'm not saying she's OP right now, but
the defensive thing bothers me because that's called I call that babysitting. And like if you're a tank, you want to prevent them from ever getting on you. And the way you described it, it sounds like I have to like play like close to her the entire time, and that like at playing a tank that reduces my effectiveness.
Yeah.
Well, I think you would only do that if you're reliant on the Chromie to put out massive amount. You trust that Chromie to get the job. It's like the Protect the Hammer comp. You run a team based around making sure
Protect
they don't
the
ever
Chromie?
get the position. Yeah, protect the Chromie.
Yeah, I mean, like if you got a double tank, you can have like a Johannes just sit on Chromie.
Yeah.
And then, a Nubrak or someone who's trying to kill their Li Ming or, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just scared at the thought of her getting damage buffs as a means to fix her.
She doesn't need a damage
I know.
buff.
That's why. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
And I think most people recognize that isn't the problem with her. I don't see anybody going, oh, she'd be a lot better if her damage was 2 times as much or something. I don't really see a lot
She
of
hurts.
that. Yeah.
She almost clears out creep waves like at 7, even if you take that one talent at 4 where it increases it decreases everything.
It decreases half
Cooldown, half
cooldown
mana,
and
75% damage.
Yeah. Like she still almost wipes out a creep wave with just one of those. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Jimmy, did you got anything you want to throw in there?
Not too much. I think it was pretty well covered. I think she's really strong, obviously, in the right player's hands, but I think she's taking longer to figure out than usual for most heroes, and so I think it's really well reflected in that win rate there.
Who do you think her hardest counter is? Because I personally think it's Greymane. Greymane seems to be able to just get in on her and stay there.
Yeah, especially early game. There was one game I had on Towers of Doom, I think, with Chromie, and I went out just a little bit outside of the towers and just got completely obliterated by just Greymane, like 100-0 in like 2 seconds. It felt like, I don't know. It was a lot of damage that she took.
Zeratul also hurts.
Yeah. I think any roaming assassins are
Kagiri
pretty
said
strong.
Illidan, if he can hunt onto her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even meta onto her, but like the hunt will just like half her health on its own.
Yeah, just that will just blow her up pretty badly.
Yeah, that's part of the I mean, Illidan does that to a lot of characters, so that's part of the reason he's banned so much.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're a character who can't survive someone who can just, turn you into their own personal jungle gym and smack you around and gain health the whole time. Probably should ban Illidan.
Yeah.
Because he ain't hunting Johanna.
Mhm.
So moving on, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right, we're doing our personal segments. We're trying these things where one of us is responsible for just kind of coming up with an idea and lead the discussion a bit. This week we have Carl's Corner. And Carl, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you're talking about?
All right, so this isn't an innovative draft revamp like Willie's, but this is the topic that I've tried to get us to talk about for the last 2 weeks, and we didn't. So I'm talking about the ranked revamp. So it's releasing June 14th, or during the week of June 14th, so somewhere in there. They're changing. Right now we have an upgraded Hearthstone system, where it's just 50 to 1, and you get like 300 points per thing, and you can go up, you can go down a whole lot. So they're moving it to the League of Legends / StarCraft system, where it's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, and there's 5 divisions within each. So, in addition to that, within master, it displays your points on your like badge thing, whatever, right? So right now you can see I'm rank 3, 150 points or whatever. But when you queue in a game, people just see rank 3. In Master, it's publicly available how many points you have. And so you can see like, okay, here's the Master player who's at like 50, 100. They just broke in. They made Master, right? It's a good thing. But it's they just barely did. And then you got the Master player at 1200. It's like, oh, they're just like inches away from Grandmaster. They're really good. And then the top 500 players, I believe, per region, like NA or whatever, are in Grandmaster. And that displays your rank within Grandmaster. So if you were the number 1 player in your region, there is a 1 on your portrait for all to see.
Who do you think, just randomly, who do you think predict will have that first? If it's a pro player, let's say, and not some random.
Sray
isn't. He's the highest, most consistent highest, but he's not really on a pro team right now. I think McIntyre is close behind him. But yeah, those two are probably going to be fighting for it. I think a lot of pro players are going to retry this system, though.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Dunk Train get there.
Yeah.
While walking on a treadmill.
So I think there are kind of 3 major problems I think this solves. The first is when you're low level, like, no one cares if you hit 35. There's not big accolades, and it's like, oh man, I made it to 35. No one cares. The only rank that matters right now is rank 1, and there are people that argue that doesn't even matter. So if you're a player who's bronze, which, in most systems, bronze and silver is like 50, 60% of the player base, right? Because you're bronze, okay, you're maybe not the best at the game, but you're not like the worst player in the world. For those players, you can advance from bronze 3 to bronze 2. You can be like, I made something. I improved. I have this tangible like achievement. Mm-hmm. So it really helps with those players because like there's some people that they're not going to get to rank 1, maybe ever, maybe not for the next 3 years, maybe for the next 3 months, whatever. But it's just like this constant progression of like, okay, I can't get to rank 1 this season, but maybe I can break into silver, maybe I can break into gold, maybe I can break into platinum, that kind of thing. Which I think is really helpful for like, the incentive to play Hero League. Because it's like anytime there's an achievement or an upgrade that you have, you want to get it. So the other thing is high ranking. Right now there's rank 1. I've been rank 1. Dunk Train's rank 1. McIntyre's rank 1. I can't keep up with those guys, right?
Right.
We're not the same. On Hot Dogs, I'm about a 2.9k MMR player. Most of the pros are like 4k plus. That's a big jump. But I'm in the top 2, maybe it's more like 3-4%, but I'm in the top couple percentage of players. But the way all these games break down is that the higher you get, the fewer people that are already at skill level. So maybe I'm going to end up in platinum. And it can really differentiate between the good players, the great players, and like these guys need to get signed on a team yesterday. So, and like I said, it'll bring pros back to Hero League, I think, for a bit. Just kind of, because it means more now.
I think Team League's going to be a scary place.
Yeah, it will be.
Get up there.
And then the third thing is just stability. Like right now, you can go between rank 12 and rank 8 like 6 times per day.
That sounds about right.
It's like you don't really have this identity of like, all right, I'm a whatever player, because it flips. You move around all the time. And this will be like, I'm pretty consistently around here. It's gonna take me, a good couple of games with a high win percentage to advance, and you get this. It's like, okay, I'm a silver 3, or I'm a plat 2, or whatever you are, and it's just like your rank means more because it's the same. Maybe improving, maybe degrading, but slowly. Other thoughts now that I've gone on a monologue.
No, that's fine. That was actually pretty in depth. Actually, I like.
No, that was really good. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting that they're going to be giving these preseason awards away, and I know some people are a little upset about it. And I guess I haven't really played a whole lot of Hero League in the past few weeks, so I don't know if this is true or not. But I've heard complaints about Hero League getting kind of volatile because of the fact that these rewards are now a thing. And I think the problem really at the root of it is, though, that Blizzard's not clear at all if these same rewards will be available for season 1 or not. So people, I think, are kind of panicking and being like, oh, this is my one chance to get these mounts, so I better do what I can. And they lose a game, and it's super frustrating as you're trying to climb ranks and you lose 150 points, and you're like, well, I went halfway down the rank I just ranked up and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'd really like to get the epic mount, but that's rank 10. So I don't know how feasible that would be for me.
Oh.
I'm rank 32 right now in Hero League and like 35 in Team League. But I don't know. I absolutely love the revamp. It's a nice mix of, like you said, the League of Legends ranking system and StarCraft. So I'm really excited to see it. And I think the interesting thing is the skill level queue restriction, so that people are much more in line in skill, even when partying together, than they are right now. Because I could party up right now with Carl, and it would take 100 years for the queue to figure out something appropriate for us, and it would be really fun to see see that. But I do like that they're doing this. As frustrating as it might be for me and other people to be like, oh, well, we can't play with some of our friends now in Hero League. That's just the price of admission for a good rank system, I think, and I'm okay with that. And also there's the silence player restriction, so that is really awesome.
God
they're
bless you,
getting
Blizzard.
rid of silence players being able to queue into Hero League. So
Dude, I was browsing Reddit. Sorry, I gotta jump.
Yeah, go for it.
I was browsing Reddit the other day, and there was this guy who claimed he had, or maybe it was on Twitter, at Dustin. There was a guy who claimed he had a 2-month silence.
That's impressive.
That is commitment to your art.
Because it doubles every time, right?
Yeah.
Once you get to
Yes.
a month, all you got
That
to do
is
is hit
hundreds
silence
of
one more time.
reports. According to Dustin, that it was hundreds of reports against this guy.
Wow.
I can't even fathom that. Like, yeah, okay, I get salty and stuff, but whew.
Yeah, I think we might have acquired a silence or two if people were able to hear us on our personal Skype calls.
Yeah, that's the thing is when I get mad, it's usually with other people on the call, so I can complain to you guys and say as much vile stuff as I want, and it's not going to punish me.
I always figured stepping on people would get me silenced.
It's
we removed the ability to hearth back.
Creative use of game mechanics.
So one other thing in the revamp that Halwall brought up. So the rewards between Hero League and Team League, it's the same thing. You can get them twice, right? So if you're rank 1 in both, you get 8,000 gold. But in Hero League, you have to hit rank 20 to get the Elemental Wolf mount. In Team League, you have to hit rank 40.
Yeah.
The Epic's the same. It's both rank 10. But I like it because it's like they're trying to incentivize team play and like, hey, come play with your group of 5 because guess what? A game for 5 people is most fun when you have 5 people.
Yeah.
Despite what the entire League of Legends player base says otherwise.
And the other thing really quickly is Blizzard did confirm this. It's the highest rank you've achieved, not like your current rank. So if Carl tumbles down to rank 10, he doesn't just get the rank 10 rewards. Yes. He'll get all the rank 1 rewards still, which is good. I think people were paranoid about that a little bit there. So it's not like WoW Arena where you have to be a certain rating to get the rewards. It's how far you get throughout the whole season.
Yeah, there were a couple times before this was announced where I was like, I'm pretty sure the ranked revamp is about to be announced soon. I just hit rank 1. I kind of don't want to play anymore so that I don't like drop and get stuck with bad rewards because I knew there was going to be some form of reward. So it was a relief when it came out and said, hey, it's highest reached.
The only things I'd like to toss in that you guys didn't touch on is I like the way the demotion and promotion matches are going to be handled. It's basically going to tell you when you basically have a chance to defend your rank or promote your rank, and it notifies you. So you get a chance to go, okay, this next match I really need to focus. Maybe it's a bit late for me to try this right now. I'll hit it tomorrow. I'll do a couple warm-up games and quick match and be ready to really focus or whatever. Or, you
use that quick match
deal.
tilt.
Yeah. So I really like that because I hate, that's the thing that is the most frustrating part about playing right now. In the current format, you just kind of fall and rise, as you guys said. There's no real consistency to it, and you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't like at least knowing like the next match you go into is where it's all on the line. It's a nice thing. And the one question I have, I don't know if it was addressed by Blizzard or not. Like, let's say in Carl's case, he's rank 1 in Hero League, right? He gets the 4,000 gold, and I assume you're somewhere between 40 and 20 on Team League.
I think I'm 14 right now.
14 on Team League. Will you get 6,500 gold, or will you just get the highest gold reward?
I think I get 6,500 gold.
Okay, because obviously none of the rest of it stacks amongst each other. So I was curious if it.
Well, the portraits are unique, so I'll get the rank 1 Hero League portrait and the rank 2211 Team League portrait.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll get both wolves and 6,500 gold.
Okay. Good to know.
Like 11 and a half. I just need to win one more game and I got 10.
Nice.
There you go. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for Carl's Corner. Great job, buddy.
That was
good. No, I know. We've been trying to get that in the show for the past few weeks.
Yeah, Carl, what do you want to do this week? The thing I've been trying to get you to do for 2 weeks.
Before we get into our next topic real quick, I did want to share something I just saw on Reddit about Garden of Terror. Blizzard actually responded to this a couple hours ago. Trixler said that long games on Garden of Terror are something that they're aware of right now. And there's an issue apparently with the Garden of Terror not dealing enough damage against structures, and they have a fix planned for that. But they're aware that games are tending to go long on Garden of Terror, and they're looking at other changes they can make to combat that. So I thought that was interesting to see that. Garden of Terror is probably one of my least favorite maps right now. It's not fun, and it goes on forever.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the way they changed the Terror. I thought it was going to be great, but I miss the root plants doing automatic damage. It's kind of a pain in the butt to have to, because the Terrors, it's not special in any way. It can be blown up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, losing the free root damage does hurt. I understand why they did it, but it makes it harder to. Maybe once the Terror does more damage to structure, because it's not bugged anymore, it'll feel good again.
Yeah, it definitely slowed the game down, though.
Well, those plants now, they double all damage against structures, right?
Yes.
So
I thought it was just Terror.
Maybe it's just people aren't maybe playing the map right, not pushing with the Terror.
Yeah, people.
Don't
I mean, if you're doing 200% damage to structures when that plant's down, then like pushing heroes and high burst heroes are Chromie with the terror backing it up. That's going to be an ignorant amount of damage on structures with her W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I thought the issue was the terror's damage was glitched though, and not doing the proper amount.
yeah, that's the issue too. But
Okay.
like, I'm still saying that maybe
Yeah.
people need to push with the terror than
Yeah, a lot of
rather
people
than
like teammates play like the old one where you just kind of like let the terror do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
not the
a
way.
coordinated 5-man push is even right now with bugged devastating, but nobody does it.
yeah.
Speaking of bugs, there's going to be a bug fix released, or it was already released. It was a hot fix on May 19th. In case you missed it, there's a few things that got changed. Abathur's no longer going to cast Hearthstone while channeling Ultimate Evolution. That's good. Artanis was being allowed to strike 3 times rather than 2 during its Twin Blades ability, so if you
That-
became reliant on that...
So it should have
Banned
been changed
Abathur
to
and
triple
Artanis from 2
blades.
tournaments, I think.
Yeah.
So now they're
Wait.
playable.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Excuse
because there was a bit there where I was surprised at how good Artanis was, and now we see why it was.
You had
Yeah.
to actually do something to do it. You had to, I think you had to stutter step to get it in.
Oh,
So
okay.
like the normal, like I'm not putting any effort in, Artanis's couldn't.
hmm
So there was actually a discussion on another podcast to be unmentioned.
You can mention
About-
other podcast names on here.
I don't know if it's bad to
It's
cross
not
promote.
sacrilege. We're all friends.
All right, so
Yeah.
I also watch Town Hall Heroes,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, who
A lot of
doesn't?
esports discussion, right?
Mhm.
But they had a big discussion about should that have been left in because it was like a skill thing to pull it off, and it rewarded you with damage. But Blizzard, it wasn't intended, so they
No.
patched it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me since it wasn't intended. Although I do think there should be a talent available to most heroes that is skill dependent like that.
Like
I
the
think-
Tracer 16 one.
Yeah. Yep. I think there should always be something that rewards you for being highly skilled with that hero that most people won't take, but the people who do take it know the hero in and out, and they're going to get some mileage out of it. Another thing that's funny is Zeratul can no longer cast Singularity Spike 5 times in rapid succession after learning the double bombs and rewind talent. That's good.
Oh my gosh.
No, my favorite is apparently Kerrigan got with the Fury of the Swarm, like the battle momentum talent would proc on her cleave
Oh,
talent.
jeez.
So she'd like auto a wave and get like 10 seconds refunded on her abilities.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Working as intended.
That would have been the
Make
most relevant
Ker-
Kerrigan
make
had been for a
great
week.
again.
I think she had like an 8% win rate buff for a couple of days.
That does not surprise me. Back to the bottom with you, though. Queen of the Swarm. They said she's going to get a rework soon, though, too, huh?
I'm curious to see how that rework comes out because, like, I really want to like Kerrigan. I'm so
Same.
garbage at her.
Whatever team
yeah.
Equinox is on is going to become tier 1.
Pretty much.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite heroes, and she was good way back when in the alpha, but ever since then, there's no real strength in playing her anymore. Other heroes do what she can do way better.
Most definitely. But yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
Kill that
Blizzard,
does it
for
from
your.
range.
Yeah, thanks, Blizzard, for always being aware of these issues and taking care of them in a timely manner.
Why can't I get
Yeah.
any funny Chen bugs?
You have to play Abathur for this.
Oh God.
So, what's hot on Reddit this week? A segment we do almost every week. But first, I think we should probably open up the thingy, the raffle, right?
The raffle.
The
we
ruffle?
can do that.
Ruffle. This week we'll be giving away Jaina. So if you don't have
Yay!
Jaina, you should enter the raffle. If you already have Jaina, there's no point entering the raffle. You don't get gold. You don't get anything.
Yeah.
No one's
No
going to buy a
skins, just
code
Jaina.
off you for $2. It's more effort than your work. Leave it for somebody who doesn't have Jaina.
Yep.
Princess of Murder.
Yeah.
So yeah, exclamation point raffle will get you into that, and we'll draw in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Can you do custom raffle commands in there?
I don't know how to on Moobot. I know how
We need
to on
figure it
other.
out so we can start doing exclamation point stay tight.
There we go. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good idea. Where were we? What's hot on Reddit? Yes. Basically, somebody pointed out that with Medivh being added to the game, the score screen needs another revamp. And I'm actually in favor of this. A lot of the stats that are being presented on there don't really tell the full story, and it wouldn't be too hard to add things like, shielding, how much damage was shielded rather than just putting it as healed. And that's going to be a big problem with Medivh because he is he's an incredible character from what everybody's saying so far, but his Q is his only damaging ability. And it's never, like, what he brings to the game isn't going to be accurately represented on a score screen. There could be plenty of more things added to. I mean, obviously shielding is one of the more obvious ones, but, I mean, kill participation is something that you have to add up yourself, kind of, but I think that should already be there. Like, it tells you how many times you were involved on a kill, whether it be an assist, or whether you were healing somebody there while you were there, saves, or I don't know. There's plenty of different ideas that could be thrown around. I was wondering if you guys had any, like, things you would like to see on the score screen or not. I'll throw it to you first, Willie.
No. I don't
No?
No. Like,
Wow.
Again, Dota background. The two things that I would potentially add in don't exist in this game. Well, no, okay. I take that back. You could kind of do total experience and then like XP per minute. But the score screen is fine, I think. I don't think it needs an update. That's literally all I have.
I don't know. I think there could be something. I don't know exactly what, but there's got to be something for specialists specifically, because I feel like everyone else kind of has their own. You can definitely tell how well they're doing. I mean, some specialists obviously are going to have. You can use the already predetermined points there, because like obviously somebody like Vikings, you're going to see their XP soak and be like, okay, they did a good job soaking XP, or Sylvanas, oh, she did a great job pushing down that lane because of siege damage. But yeah, it sounds like Medivh kind of is this wild card, and Hafen, he got announced with Chromie. It comes out in like 2 weeks, I believe, and we'll see that very soon. But yeah, a bunch of people got to play him at that esports summit, I believe, and
Yeah.
So this was from MF Pally time, and this is his kind of insight just from having played Medivh, and I definitely trust his opinion on something like this. But I don't know exactly what the fix is here, because yeah, players tend to go with what they can see in the score screen and really determine that way if their teammates are doing well or not. So it's an interesting problem for Blizzard to address here, and I know they've done it before, obviously through the role scores, which I absolutely love. But yeah, I guess I don't really have anything to add. I have no idea how to fix this, but I think it's something to be looked at, and I'm glad that Pally Time brought up this issue.
I mean, Carl, do you have it? Because I do have one idea.
Yeah. So I don't know other stats other than maybe a damage mitigated type thing with shields. But what I do think would be good was, I don't think you need to add anything to the in-game score screen. I think a post-game score screen where you can see everyone's healing done, everyone's damage taken, that kind of stuff would be really good. Because like Stitches can heal with his E, I think. And Anubarak gets to shield, and Tyrael can shield all his allies, and you get all these other stats that are, I think, important to these heroes that you don't get to see in screen, but they're not really necessary to see in game. So if you have this big extensive thing post game, I'm pulling from League here because that's what they have. They have a couple like graphs and stuff you can compare. Oh, I did 3 times as much damage to support. Yeah, I can feel good about myself. I'm supposed to do that. But
Right.
So I think that'd be good to have.
There, I believe there is an internal stat that keeps track of it. It's self-healing. For like Stitches and stuff like that. Like Tassar casting his shield on himself, ETC casting his E,
So
those
is it just
things.
not
So
displayed?
it's just not displayed. Like, if you open up one of the UIs in a replay, like, it will show you self-healing and stuff like that. I don't remember which one it was, but that stat is definitely there. So I wouldn't mind seeing a self-healing stat done. Like, because I went back and was checking a few, like, really good Dahaka games I had, and he was doing, like, 80... Like, I was self-healing more than what the healers were doing overall. Like, I had, like, 80k self-heal while our healer ended up doing, like, it was, like, 55, 60k one game. So, like, I like, just by Dahaka being Dahaka, like, essentially never really needed to get healed by our healer.
Yeah, or you can, and if it counts shields too, you can see like how much damage did they waste on my Chen with a shield.
I would like to see a damage mitigated via shield stat. That would be interesting to see.
So I think I mean I have an idea that kind of like would do all of that a little bit. I think there's this would all have to be in the post game thing, as Carl. I think that's where you want to see all this info anyways. You don't want to be clicking around and looking for detailed statistics on the game in the middle of a match unless you're just looking to rage during a lose game, which doesn't really serve anyone anything. But I think each hero in the post-game stats should have an option to click that would bring up a menu of specialized stats. Like, let's say, Abathur, time switched from hero to hero, mine set per match, Chen, damage mitigated by drinking, ETC, self-heal, Chromie, time landed skill shot, Nova, longest duration with the snipe bonus, things like that, things that are actually important and impactful to each specific hero that you can't really track in any way other than, just kind of knowing yourself. And that would be interesting to see. You like look through and go, oh man, I thought this guy was the problem, but look at all the stuff he was doing that I had no clue that he was doing. I mean, obviously he was putting in work. Our real problem was, Brightwing's numbers were bloated, but the time she actually healed heroes or actual damage healed off of heroes or time spent around team member or whatever, wasn't as good as I thought. Her numbers just...
That would actually be really cool. It'd take a lot of work on their part, but that would be really, really cool.
I think that might be something, at least in the future. I know we're talking about having this displayed on the screen for you, but I know Blizzard just implemented recently the improvements to replays and being able to extract a lot more data that way. I know Hotslog is taking advantage of that. Maybe that's something they can do for that in the future. I know that doesn't help the immediate problem here, but I mean, that's something at least cool that you can extract the data from and really kind of dig into the stats and see where you are there.
Yeah, I'll say I don't feel like this is a big problem. It's something that should be done in the future. It's not like a big deal, though. It's not something I can really get on a high horse and complain about. I just think a post-game thing like what I was talking about would be pretty cool to see, especially like Vikings, time spent together, time spent split apart,
I think most of the people who look at the score screen to say I did really well, you all suck, aren't really, I don't know,
good players.
It's fun to kind of look at oh hey cool, I did 100,000 damage on Kael'thas because Kael'thas does that, but it's not the most valuable source of information.
Yeah, the most telling is times died. Honestly, right now, that's all you can really look at. If some guy has bloated numbers, is talking about how he carried the team and he died 7 or 8 times, or 5 times more than anyone else, odds are he was just playing solo, and that's pretty telling most of the time.
Yeah, you can tell. You can, especially with tanks, you can tell who has super inflated numbers because they're stupid, and who has actually good tank numbers.
For sure.
Right.
If you've got 15 deaths and 150,000 damage taken, might not be where you wanted to be.
Yeah. You may consider a support role instead next time.
Top damage noob. Agree how well in chat. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do that for this. Getting close to wrapping up that raffle, so if you don't have Jaina, make sure you join into the raffle, ! raffle. If you'd like to be a part of these raffles, you should join us on our Twitch channel every Tuesday night, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. That's twitch.tv/BlizzPro. We have a wonderful website full of wonderful information, and that's heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. Go there for all your Heroes of the Storm needs. We throw out builds, we throw out updates, we throw out the weekly sale. We try to give you all the info we can and stay on top of things. So if you're looking for Heroes news or anything related to the show, you can probably find it there.
Most definitely.
You want to talk about our patron?
Yeah, patreon.com/heroespower. This, if you're willing to monetarily support us, it really helps us out, as this is a live show and a podcast, and computers break down, equipment breaks down, microphones, headphones, all that sort of stuff. It really helps us out if we need to fund that, and also helps fund our giveaways on the show as well, and as well as guarantees you a spot in our post show matches, which will be coming up right after this. And usually we do ARAMs, but sometimes we'll do just some quick match grouping together and just have a lot of fun. And a lot of
custom drafts.
Yeah, that as well. And just, it's been really great becoming friends with a lot of our patrons, and a couple of them even come on the show, including Sextress and Flame, and it's been really fun. And there's no obligation to ever donate, but if you feel willing to, we really appreciate it. We absolutely do, and it helps us out and helps us continue making the show better and better every week, and we appreciate it. And that's once again patreon.com/heroespowerhour.
Willie, you want to talk about that pretty little subscribe button we got down there on Twitch?
Absolutely. We have recently acquired a subscriber button, which means for $4.99 a month, you can help support the channel, get an ad-free viewing experience, on top of some sweet emotes. Right now, we have Jimmy's beautiful face, and if you're a fan of Diablo and you watch the West March Workshop, you can also check out the clam chat, which is apparently a big thing with nine ball. We get half the money, which also goes to cover more of the expenses that we incur every month. We love you for it, and I mean, really, who doesn't want to spam Jimmy's face all over Twitch?
I know. I did it during one of the European qualifiers. It was the best experience of my life.
It's really why I subscribe. It's just so I can put Jimmy's face in every stream I go to.
Yep.
I'm still waiting to get. I'm still hoping we get enough subs to where I can get myself as a Twitch emote, because I'm a narcissist. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, if I ever get that, it's going on my resume.
No, the
What kind of
best
skills do you bring to the table? I'm a Twitch emote, so.
The
Yeah.
best is I didn't even ask to be it. It's just, I think JR just put it up there. He's like, "You're gonna become an emote." I'm like,
you
"Okay,
didn't. You
fine."
didn't really have a choice. It was
I
pretty
know.
much a unanimous agreement.
No,
Like,
as soon as it happened at the esports arena, as soon as I walked off stage, I'm like, "Well, this is gonna become a thing, isn't it?"
And the greatest Heroes meme since 6.5 out of 10 was born.
Yes,
exactly.
it's true.
Oh, I still love 6.5 out of 10. The guy who actually reviewed IGN, he's actually he takes it pretty good. I gave him a little jab about it on Twitter this week, and he he laughed about it. He takes it in stride, I think, which is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that interaction. So we might as well give away this raffle.
Yeah, I only saw
Wonder who it's gonna
one.
be.
I only
I
saw
can't
one.
figure out who's gonna win.
Come
on, move up.
It's going to be Preacher Lady 11. That was the one person who put that in. So congratulations.
Congrats,
I will
Preacher.
be sending you that code in just a moment, and it's going to look
You're gonna need
something
to
like
look
that.
for it in your spam folder, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully not. But it'll be coming from my Twitch account, DJ Tyrant. Anyways, any final thoughts before we close the show out? The episode 62 of the Heroes Power. I just want to shout out actually all the folks who watch us on YouTube and download the MP3 version as well, the podcast, whether you subscribe on iTunes, Google Podcast, or however you get us. Thank you so much for your support. And we'd love, if you have a chance, to come out, listen to us live on twitch.tv/BlizzPro, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. Final thoughts, Charlie?
check out my Twitch channel this week and following weeks, especially Memorial Day weekend. I'm probably going to really hit that Nuzlocke. That's twitch.tv/BallrogFan. You can check out my other podcast, soundcloud.com/FAH podcast, or look it up on iTunes as Flask Action Heroes. It's me and my buddy. We get super drunk and review an action movie. We actually just did RoboCop. That should be going up pretty soon. Can you fly, Bobby? Zex, you got anything?
I am casting the Virgin Open this Friday with Mr. DJ Tyrant. So come and check that out, part of the Heroes United series. And, I do have a question for everyone.
Yes,
who tries
talk
to be
about it.
Yeah, who tries to be a Jedi?
Oh, God. No. I don't know. This is
Nobody wanna be?
I'm so mad at you.
I didn't know JR was on the show
Yeah,
today.
JR used to do this every week.
Someone has to fill the role,
Oh
and
my
I'm gonna
gosh.
do it.
At
Yoda
least it's at the end of the
every-
show, so I can quickly go throw up.
Oh, Carl, help us out.
I want to thank again everyone who's in Twitch chat and has somehow managed to pry their eyes away from Overwatch. You're all probably playing it right now still, but that's understandable. I expect.
Got us in your ears.
Yeah, but I do appreciate people coming out and talking with us and hanging out in chat. Also the YouTube people, but I don't want to leave Twitch out. I might be streaming here soon when I have time in the evenings, but no promises. Other than that, I'm good.
Most definitely. And that is going to be our show. Thanks again. Hang out if you want to still play some Heroes games with us. We'll figure out what we're going to do in just a minute. This is episode 62 of the Heroes Power. Good night and stay tight.